The red warning lights flashed across Luna Defense Base's command center, bathing Major Thomas Walker's face in a crimson glow. He straightened his blue uniform and watched the main screen as an unknown ship limped toward the moon's orbit. Its hull was smoking, with pieces of metal breaking off and floating into space. "Sir, the ship's not matching any known Earth designs," Lieutenant Rogers said, his fingers flying over the control panel. "It's 3 times bigger than our largest vessel." Walker rubbed his jaw, studying the strange curves and markings on the ship. After 15 years of defending Earth's solar system, he thought he'd seen everything. He was wrong. "Get me a weapons lock," he ordered. "And wake up Admiral Johnson. He needs to see this." Before Rogers could respond, the strange ship sent out a signal. The computer screens flickered, and a face appeared on the main display. Walker stepped back, his hand automatically reaching for his sidearm. The creature on the screen wasn't human. Its blue-tinted skin and large eyes reminded him of Earth's deep-sea creatures. "Please," the alien said in perfect English, though its mouth moved strangely with the words. "We come seeking help. They are coming." Walker kept his voice steady. "Who's coming?" "The Ravagers." The alien coughed, and Walker noticed burns on its face. "They destroy everything. Every civilization they find. We've lost 12 worlds in the past month alone." Admiral Johnson burst into the command center, still pulling on his jacket. His gray hair was messy, but his eyes were sharp. "Major, report." Walker quickly explained the situation. As he spoke, the alien ship drifted closer, and they could see more damage. Entire sections were torn open, showing the dark void of space beyond. "We've watched your species," the alien continued. "For 50 of your years, we've studied Earth. We saw your wars, your conflicts. At first, we thought you were too dangerous to contact." Johnson stepped forward. "And now? Now we know you might be the galaxy's only hope." The alien pressed something, and data started flowing across the smaller screens. "These are star maps, showing the Ravagers' path of destruction. They're methodical, unstoppable. Most species in the galaxy evolved past warfare thousands of years ago. We lost the ability to fight effectively." Walker studied the maps, his military mind already analyzing patterns. "But we haven't." "No," the alien agreed. "Your species still remembers war. You understand combat in ways we've forgotten. The Ravagers will reach Earth in 6 months. We hope, we pray, you can do what we couldn't. Fight back." Suddenly, new alarms blared. Rogers' eyes widened as he checked his readings. "Sir, 3 ships just appeared at the edge of our solar system. They're unlike anything we've ever seen." The alien's face showed pure fear. "They followed us. The Ravagers are here early." The transmission crackled. "The data we sent, use it. Prepare your people. We'll try to slow them down." "Wait," Walker called out. "We can help you land. Make repairs." The alien shook its head. "No time. My ship's core is already critical. We'll use that." It straightened up, showing a warrior's dignity, despite its fear. "Good luck, humans. The stars need warriors again. Show them humanity's might." The transmission cut off. Walker watched as the damaged alien ship turned around, its engines glowing brighter than they should. Rogers' instruments showed its power core going critical. "It's on a collision course with the incoming ships," Rogers reported quietly. They all watched in silence as the brave aliens made their final stand. The ship exploded in a blast that lit up space brighter than the sun, taking one of the Ravager ships with it. The other 2 turned and vanished as quickly as they had appeared. Admiral Johnson took a deep breath. "Major Walker, as of this moment, Earth is at war. Get me a direct line to the President and the Joint Chiefs. Lieutenant Rogers, start analyzing that alien data. I want to know everything about these Ravagers." Walker nodded, his mind already racing with plans. He looked out the base's window at the Earth, peaceful and blue in the distance. In 6 months, that peace would be shattered. But humanity wasn't helpless. They weren't peaceful aliens who had forgotten how to fight. They were humans, and they would show the galaxy why that mattered. "Yes, sir," Walker said. "We'll be ready for them." Admiral Rebecca Stone stood before the United Earth Council in New York, her white uniform crisp despite the 12 sleepless hours she spent preparing for this moment. The giant screens behind her showed images from the alien data, burning worlds, destroyed civilizations, and the unstoppable advance of the Ravager fleet. "Ladies and gentlemen of the Council," she began, her voice steady. "3 days ago, we made first contact. It wasn't the peaceful meeting we hoped for. Instead, we learned that humanity faces its greatest threat." The council chamber was packed. Representatives from every nation sat in tense silence. Even the usual political rivals weren't arguing today. "The aliens who warned us sacrificed themselves to prove the danger is real." Stone clicked her remote, showing footage from Luna Base of the alien ship's last stand. "Their final act bought us time, but not much. We have less than 6 months before the main Ravager fleet reaches Earth." Councilman Robert Phillips from Australia stood up. "Why us? Why do these aliens think we can fight back when they couldn't?" Stone nodded, expecting this question. "Because we're different. Look at this data." She brought up a new chart. Most advanced alien species evolved past warfare. They found perfect peace and cooperation. But that peace came with a price. They lost their ability to fight. She walked closer to the council members. "Humanity never stopped being warriors. We turned our competitive nature into sports, our fighting skills into movies and games. Even as we made peace among ourselves, we kept training soldiers and building weapons." The aliens saw this as primitive. Now they see it as hope. The room filled with whispers. Stone continued, showing tactical displays of Ravager ships. "Their technology is advanced, but their tactics are simple. They've never faced an enemy that truly fought back. They don't understand deception, surprise attacks, or guerrilla warfare. These are things humanity has mastered over thousands of years." President Williams stood up from his chair at the center of the council. "What exactly are you proposing, Admiral?" "Operation Starshield." Stone pressed her remote again, revealing designs for new weapons and ships. "We combine Earth's military forces into one fleet. We take our best weapons, guns, missiles, nuclear devices, and adapt them for space warfare. The Ravagers have forgotten about simple ballistic weapons. Their shields stop energy weapons but can't handle a good old-fashioned bullet." A Chinese representative spoke up. "You want us to fight aliens with bullets?" "Yes," Stone said firmly. "Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Our scientists are already working on fitting our spacecraft with railguns and missile launchers. We'll give these aliens something they've never seen before: humanity at war." The chamber erupted in debate. Stone waited patiently until President Williams called for order. "The cost will be enormous," he said. "We'd need to convert most of our industries to military production. The cost of doing nothing is higher." Stone's voice cut through the noise. "We have 6 months to build the largest fleet in human history. 6 months to train our soldiers for space combat. 6 months to prepare for a fight that will decide if humanity has a future." She showed one final image: Earth, beautiful and blue, seen from space. "Every nation on this planet has warriors. We have brave men and women who know how to fight, who understand sacrifice. The aliens who died to warn us believed we could win. They saw something in humanity that the galaxy desperately needs: the heart of a warrior combined with the mind of a strategist." President Williams looked around the chamber. "All in favor of implementing Operation Starshield? Raise your hands." Stone held her breath. One by one, hands went up. China, Russia, the European Union, Africa Union, all voting yes. In 10 minutes, the vote was unanimous. "Then it's settled," the president said. "Admiral Stone, you have full authority to proceed. God help us all." As Stone left the council chamber, her aide, Lieutenant Mark Peters, fell in step beside her. "That went well," he said quietly. "It's just the beginning," Stone replied, checking her tablet. "Send word to all military bases. I want every soldier, sailor, pilot, and Marine ready for new training. Contact NASA and SpaceX. We need their shipyards running at full capacity. And get me Major Walker from Luna Base." "What are you thinking, Admiral?" Stone smiled grimly. "I'm thinking it's time to show the galaxy why humans never gave up their weapons. The stars need warriors. Well, they're about to get them." Colonel James Martinez stood on the bridge of the EDF Warrior, Earth's first true warship built for space combat. Through the reinforced windows, Mars hung like a red jewel against the black sky. His crew worked quietly at their stations, each person aware that they were about to make history. "Ravager scouts detected, sir," Lieutenant Emily Hayes called from her tactical station. "3 ships coming around from behind Phobos." Martinez nodded. After 2 months of preparation, the enemy had finally taken the bait. "Show me." The main screen lit up, displaying 3 arrow-shaped vessels. They were beautiful in a scary way, all smooth lines and glowing energy fields. Each one was bigger than the Warrior, but Martinez smiled. Bigger didn't always mean better. "All hands, battle stations," he ordered. Red lights flashed as klaxons sounded throughout the ship. "Lieutenant Hayes, are they following the path we predicted?" "Yes, sir. They're heading straight for our broken-down mining ships." Hayes grinned. "They don't suspect a thing." Earth's plan was simple but smart. They had left 3 old mining ships near Mars, making them look damaged and helpless. The Ravagers, thinking they had found easy targets, were moving in for the kill. They didn't know about the Warrior hiding behind Mars' smaller moon, or the surprises waiting for them. "Time to show them how humans fight," Martinez said. "Launch the drones." 50 small drones shot out from the Warrior's launch base. But these weren't normal drones. They were decoys, designed to confuse the Ravager's sensors. Each one broadcasted signals that made it look like a full-sized ship. The enemy ships stopped, their sensors suddenly showing 50 new targets instead of 1. While they tried to make sense of this, Martinez gave his next order. "Fire railguns, pattern Alpha." The Warrior shuddered as its main weapons fired. These weren't fancy energy beams or plasma torpedoes. They were simple metal slugs, accelerated to incredible speeds. The Ravager's shields, designed to stop energy weapons, didn't know what to do with solid objects moving at half the speed of light. The first slug hit the nearest Ravager ship's engine, tearing through it like paper. The second and third shots hit another ship's weapons array. Both vessels spun out of control, leaking atmosphere into space. "Direct hits," Hayes reported excitedly. Their shields didn't even activate. The third Ravager ship turned to run, but Martinez was ready. Launch fighters. 20 Earth fighters zoomed out from their hiding spots behind Phobos. These were new designs, combining Earth's best jet technology with spaceflight capabilities. Each carried both traditional missiles and energy weapons stolen from the alien ship that had crashed near Luna Base. "This is Blue Leader," the voice crackled over the radio. "Moving to intercept. These guys may have fancy ships, but they fly in straight lines. Too easy." Martinez watched as the Earth fighters swarmed the last Ravager ship. The alien vessel tried to fight back with its energy weapons, but the human pilots were unpredictable. They weaved and dodged, using moves learned from centuries of aerial combat on Earth. "Sir," Hayes called out, "I'm picking up something strange. The Ravager ships, they're all moving the same way, making the same mistakes. It's like they share one brain." Martinez leaned forward, interested. "Record everything. This could be important." The battle ended quickly. The first 2 Ravager ships were disabled, their crews evacuating in escape pods. The third tried to jump away but took too many hits. It exploded in a bright flash that lit up Mars' surface. "Rescue teams, move in," Martinez ordered. Let's see if we can pick up some prisoners. And get me Admiral Stone. She needs to know what we learned here." As his crew carried out their orders, Martinez looked at the battle data. The Ravagers had better technology, but they fought like machines, not warriors. They didn't adapt, didn't show initiative. It was their weakness, and humanity would use it. "Colonel," Hayes said, breaking into his thoughts. "Message from Earth. They're calling this Operation First Strike a complete success." Martinez nodded. "Send word to all ships in the system. Today, we prove humans can fight back. Today, we showed them why Earth's warriors never stopped training, never stopped preparing. And this is just the beginning." He looked at the damaged Ravager ships, feeling both pride and sadness. Humanity hadn't wanted this war, but they would finish it. The stars had called for warriors, and Earth had answered. "Get the engine room to check our railguns," he told Hayes. "I have a feeling we're going to need them again soon. The Ravagers just learned that humanity isn't as helpless as they thought. Their main fleet will come now, and we need to be ready." Dr. Michael Anderson wiped sweat from his forehead as he studied the twisted piece of metal on his workbench. The fragment, recovered from one of the damaged Ravager ships near Mars, could change everything. Next to him, Dr. Lisa Parker adjusted her safety glasses and ran another scan. "Mike, look at these readings," she said, pointing to her computer screen. "Their hull metal isn't just strong. It's alive, in a way. It repairs itself." They were working in the deepest level of the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, now Earth's largest weapons development facility. The massive underground complex buzzed with activity as scientists and engineers worked to prepare humanity's defenses. "Living metal," Anderson muttered, tapping the fragment with a probe. "But it has a weakness. Look what happens when I do this." He pressed a button, sending a simple electric charge through the metal. The piece shuddered and stopped its slow self-repair process. Parker's eyes widened. "It's so advanced it's vulnerable to basic attacks, like a computer that's so complex it can't handle an old virus." "Exactly." Anderson stood up excitedly. "The Ravagers forgot the basics. They built ships that can heal themselves but can't handle a regular bullet. They made computers so smart they can't process simple tactics." The intercom crackled. "Dr. Anderson, Dr. Parker, Admiral Stone requests your presence in Testing Bay 3. They're ready for the demonstration." 5 minutes later, they stood in a massive underground chamber. Through thick safety glass, they could see their latest creation, a modified F-35 fighter jet, rebuilt for space combat. Its sleek black surface was dotted with both traditional weapons and reverse-engineered alien technology. Admiral Stone walked in, followed by several military officers. "Please tell me you have good news. The Ravager main fleet will be here in 3 months." Anderson nodded eagerly. "Better than good news. We've cracked their weakness. Lisa, show them." Parker pulled up a holographic display. "The Ravagers are too advanced for their own good. Their shields stop energy weapons but ignore physical objects they consider too primitive to be threats. Their computers are so complex they can't process simple battle tactics. So we're going back to basics," Anderson continued. "We've modified our fighters with regular guns that fire special bullets. The bullets look primitive to their sensors but carry a surprise, electrical disruptors that shut down their living metal." Stone looked at the fighter behind the glass. "Will it work in space?" "Already does," Parker said proudly. "The test pilots love them. The controls are familiar, just like flying a regular jet. But now they can fight in space, and they carry weapons the Ravagers don't expect." Anderson walked to another workbench and picked up what looked like an old-fashioned hand grenade. "We've also made these. They look like World War II grenades, but inside they carry nanobots programmed to disable Ravager systems. Their sensors ignore them as harmless relics. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways," Stone said, smiling. "How many fighters can we build in 3 months?" Parker checked her tablet. "With all Earth's factories working together, 2,000, maybe more. We're also converting old missiles into space torpedoes. The Ravagers won't know what hit them. There's more, Anderson added. He pressed a button, and a section of wall opened to reveal a massive gun. We call this the Mason Driver. It fires regular shells, but they're filled with the same disruptor technology that affects their living metal. One shot can disable a Ravager ship's self-repair systems. We can mount it on our larger ships. Stone walked around the weapon, nodding approvingly. How many? 50 ready now. Hundreds more in production. Every old tank factory on Earth is building them. The Admiral turned to her officers. Get these weapons into production immediately. Priority 1. She looked back at the scientists. You've done amazing work. You've given humanity a fighting chance. As the officers left to carry out their orders, Parker turned to Anderson. Should we show her Project Thunder? Anderson grinned. Admiral, there's one more thing you need to see. He led them to a sealed door marked Top Secret. Inside, a massive device filled the room. We reversed the Ravager's shield technology, but instead of stopping energy weapons, this one stops their living metal from working at all. One burst could freeze their entire fleet in space. Stone stared at the device, hope showing in her eyes. How long until it's ready? 2 months, Parker said, just in time for the main fleet. The Admiral nodded slowly. The Ravagers think we're primitive. They think our old weapons and simple tactics make us weak. They're about to learn that humanity's greatest strength is using everything at our disposal, old and new, simple and advanced. They won't know what hit them, Anderson said confidently. Earth's arsenal is awakening, and we're bringing every weapon we've ever made to this fight. Captain David Thompson stood in the massive hangar of the EDF Defiant, watching as alien ships landed beside human fighters. It was a sight he never thought he'd see. 5 different alien species, all coming to Earth to learn how to fight. Still feels strange, doesn't it? His first officer, Jack Miller, said beside him. 6 months ago, we didn't even know aliens existed. Now they're here asking us for combat training. Thompson nodded. The aliens were emerging from their ships now. The tall, blue-skinned Aetherians with their flowing robes. The short, sturdy Kranoks who looked like walking rocks. The graceful Lyrans who floated rather than walked. All of them had lost worlds to the Ravagers. All of them had come to learn from humans. Captain, the voice called out. Thompson turned to see an Aetherian walking toward him. I am Fleet Commander Zura. My people are ready to begin training. Welcome aboard the Defiant, Thompson said. We've set up combat simulators in Bay 3. Your crews can start there. As they walked, Thompson explained Earth's battle plans. The aliens listened with deep interest, especially when he described simple tactics they had never considered. You mean to tell me, Zyra said, that your fighters will pretend to retreat, only to lead our enemy into a trap? This seems dishonest. That's the point, Thompson replied. The Ravagers think like machines. They don't expect tricks. They don't understand deception. They reached the simulator bay where human pilots were already teaching alien crews. On large screens, simulated battles played out. Human fighters flew in unpredictable patterns, while alien ships learned to copy their moves. Watch this, Thompson said, pointing to one screen. A human pilot was demonstrating a simple maneuver, cutting engines, spinning backward while still moving forward, and firing at pursuing ships. The aliens gasped. But that breaks all rules of proper space combat, a Kranoks commander rumbled. Exactly. Thompson smiled. The Ravagers follow rules. We break them. That's why we'll win. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. Captain to the bridge. A voice called over the intercom. Ravager scouts detected. Thompson ran to the bridge, the alien commanders following close behind. The main screen showed 3 Ravager ships approaching Earth's outer defense line. Perfect timing, Thompson said. Now you can see how we fight. All crews to battle stations, alien observers to command posts. The Defiant's engines rumbled to life. Around them, Earth's new fleet moved into position. Human fighters launched, followed by newly trained alien pilots ready for their first real fight. Enemy ships maintaining standard attack pattern. The tactical officer reported. They're not even trying to hide their approach. Thompson keyed his comm. All ships, execute Battle Plan Delta. Fighters, remember your training. Show our friends how humans wage war. The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Human fighters flew crazy patterns that confused Ravager targeting systems. When the enemy adapted, Earth ships switched tactics completely, doing things that seemed insane but worked perfectly. The alien observers watched in amazement as human pilots shut down engines in mid-flight, letting momentum carry them while they fired from unexpected angles. They saw Earth ships use asteroids as shields, then pop out to launch surprise attacks. This is incredible, Zyra breathed. Your people fight like warriors, Thompson finished. We never forgot how. That's why you're all here. The battle ended quickly. 2 Ravager ships destroyed, 1 captured. Not a single Earth or Allied ship lost. The alien commanders stared at the battle reports in shock. With respect, Captain, a Lyran commander said, I now understand why the Ravagers fear your people. You fight with both passion and cunning. You use simple tools in clever ways. You make warfare an art. Thompson looked at the captured Ravager ship on his screen. We never wanted to be the galaxy's warriors. We spent centuries trying to find peace among ourselves. But now that we're needed, we'll do what we must. He turned to the alien commanders. Your ships have better technology than ours. Your weapons are more advanced. But we can teach you something more important. How to think like warriors. How to use that technology in ways the Ravagers won't expect. Zyra stepped forward. Then teach us, Captain. The galaxy needs Earth's warriors, and we are ready to learn. Thompson nodded. Let's get back to training. The main Ravager fleet will be here soon, and when they come, they'll face something they've never seen before. A galaxy that remembers how to fight back. Admiral Rebecca Stone stared at the tactical display aboard her flagship, the EDF Prometheus. The massive screen showed hundreds of red dots, the Ravager main fleet, finally detected at the edge of the solar system. Her hands gripped the command rail tightly. Their numbers are even larger than we expected, Lieutenant Rogers said, his voice tense. At least 300 capital ships, plus support vessels. Stone nodded slowly. But she wasn't looking at the enemy fleet's size. She was watching their movement patterns. Every ship moved in perfect sync, like dancers in a deadly ballet. Get me Major Walker, she ordered. And put the alien commanders on the line too. I think I found something. Minutes later, Major Thomas Walker's face appeared on the screen, along with the allied alien leaders they'd been working with. Stone pointed to the tactical display. Look at their formation, she said. It's too perfect. Every ship moves exactly the same way. Remember what Lieutenant Hayes discovered during the Mars battle? They act like they share one brain. Walker's eyes widened. Because they do. They're using some kind of hive mind system to control their fleet. Exactly. Stone smiled grimly. That's why they can't handle our unpredictable tactics. Their linked minds can't process chaos. They need order and patterns to function. The Aetherian commander, Zyra, leaned forward. Then we must break their connection. But their command ship will be heavily guarded. Stone turned to Walker. Major, how's your team's stealth training coming along? Walker grinned. My Special Forces unit is ready. We've been practicing with that captured Ravager scout ship. We can fly it like it's one of their own. Good. Stone pressed a button, bringing up a new tactical display. Because I have a mission for you, Operation Chaos. We're going to break their hive mind. The plan was dangerous but simple. While Earth's fleet engaged the Ravagers in a massive battle, Walker's team would sneak in using the captured ship. Their goal, plant a special virus in the Ravager command ship systems. Dr. Anderson and Dr. Parker finished the virus yesterday, Stone explained. It's based on old computer code, so simple that the Ravager's advanced systems won't detect it until it's too late. Walker studied the plan. Getting in will be the easy part. Getting out. Leave that to us, Stone said firmly. Just plant the virus. We'll handle the rest. Hours later, Walker stood in the captured Ravager ship with his team. They wore modified spacesuits painted to look like Ravager armor. Each carried both human and alien weapons. Remember, he told his team, we do this right. We save Earth, and maybe the whole galaxy. We do this wrong. We don't come home. Simple as that. The battle began exactly as planned. Earth's fleet, joined by their alien allies, engaged the Ravagers in what looked like a standard attack. But this time, they fought differently. No tricks, no surprise tactics. Just straight, predictable combat. Exactly what the Ravagers expected. They're taking the bait. Lieutenant Baker, Walker's tech expert, whispered as they flew their stolen ship through the chaos. They think we've given up on tricky tactics. Walker watched through the view screen as massive ships exchanged fire. The Ravagers were winning, just as Stone had predicted they would against a conventional attack. Their perfect formation was unstoppable when fighting a normal battle. There's the command ship, Baker said, right where Intel said it would be. In the middle of their formation, directing everything. Walker took a deep breath. Send the recognition codes we stole. Let's hope they still work. They did. The massive Ravager command ship let them dock, thinking they were a damaged scout ship returning for repairs. Walker's team moved quickly through the alien corridors, using stolen security codes to avoid detection. Central computer core ahead, Baker reported. But we've got guards. Walker pulled out a simple metal sphere, one of Anderson's special grenades. Let's show them some old-school Earth tactics. The battle that followed was quick and quiet. The Ravager guards, used to energy weapons and advanced technology, never expected physical combat. Walker's team took them down with simple hand-to-hand fighting moves. Virus is uploading, Baker reported as he worked on the alien computer. 10 seconds. 5. Done. Now we run. They barely made it back to their ship when the virus hit. Throughout the Ravager fleet, ships suddenly lost their perfect coordination. Some stopped moving. Others flew in random directions. The hive mind was breaking down. Mission accomplished, Walker said, watching the chaos spread. Admiral Stone, the package is delivered. The Ravagers just learned why you don't put all your mines in one basket. He looked at his team as they flew back toward Earth's fleet. Now let's watch humanity show them what real chaos looks like. Colonel James Martinez watched from the bridge of his ship as chaos spread through the Ravager fleet. Their perfect formation was breaking apart, ships colliding with each other as their hive mind collapsed. But he knew better than to celebrate too early. All ships, prepare for Operation Thunderstrike. Admiral Stone's voice came over the command channel. The Ravagers are wounded, but wounded animals are the most dangerous. Hit them with everything we have. Martinez keyed his own comm. You heard the Admiral. All fighters, launch. Show them what Earth's warriors can do. The space around Earth lit up with the largest battle in human history. Earth ships, joined by their alien allies, attacked from all directions. Fighter pilots used every trick they had learned, every crazy maneuver that defied normal space combat rules. Mason drivers, fire at will. Martinez ordered. The massive guns roared to life, sending specially designed shells into the confused Ravager fleet. Where their shots hit, the aliens' living metal stopped working, leaving their ships frozen and vulnerable. Lieutenant Hayes' voice crackled over the comm. Sir, the Ravager ships are trying to reform their network. They're adapting. Not today, they're not, Martinez muttered. He opened a channel to his engine room. Give me everything you've got. We're going to show them one last human trick. His ship, the EDF Warrior, surged forward, straight toward the heart of the enemy fleet. Around him, Crew members worked at their stations, knowing what their colonel was planning but not hesitating to follow him. "Sir," Hayes said quietly, "if we get close enough to their command ship to trigger the reactor overload, we won't be coming back." Martinez finished. "I know. Send the signal to evacuate non-essential personnel. Volunteers only for this part." Not a single crew member left their post. Admiral Stone's voice cut through the comm. "Colonel, what are you doing?" "What humans do best, Admiral," Martinez replied calmly. "Something completely unexpected. The Ravagers calculate every move, plan every attack. Let's show them something they can't calculate." The warrior plowed through the enemy formation, taking heavy damage but giving worse than it got. Earth fighters cleared a path, while Allied ships provided covering fire. The Ravager command ship grew larger in their view screen. "Engineering reports reactor ready for overload," Hayes reported. "We'll need to get within 1 kilometer for maximum effect." Martinez nodded. "Send our coordinates to all friendly ships. Tell them to pull back to safe distance." He stood up from his command chair. "It's been an honor serving with all of you." The warrior closed the distance quickly. Ravager ships tried to stop them, but the human vessel was too fast, too determined. They had trained for this moment, prepared for this sacrifice. "Impact in 10 seconds," Hayes called out. "Reactor at critical levels." Martinez looked at the Earth, visible through his view screen one last time. "For home," he said quietly. Then, louder, "All power to engines. Ram speed." The warrior slammed into the Ravager command ship just as its reactor went critical. The explosion was massive, creating a chain reaction that ripped through the enemy fleet. The EMP pulse from the overloaded reactor disabled every Ravager ship within 10,000 kilometers. In the aftermath, Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, watching as Earth ships and their allies rounded up the surviving Ravager vessels. The enemy fleet was destroyed or captured. Earth was safe. "The galaxy won't forget Colonel Martinez's sacrifice," Captain Thompson said beside her, "or how humanity saved everyone." Stone nodded slowly. "But this isn't the end. The galaxy still needs protectors, still needs warriors." On the main screen, reports were coming in from across space. Other alien species, hearing of Earth's victory, were reaching out. They wanted to learn, to train, to remember how to defend themselves. "That will be our legacy," Stone said, "not just as warriors, but as teachers. We'll help build a galaxy that can protect itself, where every species remembers both the art of war and the importance of peace." She turned to her crew. "Send word to Earth. Tell them we won, but our work is just beginning." The stars called for warriors, and humanity answered. Now it's our job to make sure they never need to call again. In the years that followed, Earth became the galaxy's defender and teacher. The Warrior Academy was built, where humans trained other species in combat and strategy. But they taught more than just fighting. They taught when not to fight, when to seek peace, and how to find the balance that humanity had learned through centuries of war and peace. The stars had needed warriors, and humanity had proven itself worthy of the call. But their greatest victory wasn't in combat. It was in teaching others to stand up and defend themselves, ensuring that no species would ever again forget how to protect their home among the stars.